I am going to be explaining college majors to y'all. This is going to be a revival of this series. Today, we are going to start with accounting, but before we get into it, I do want to say if you are looking for personalized road mapping or one on one consulting, no matter where you are in your college or career pathway, I do want to name and say that I am now taking clients and we can work one on one no matter what your academic situation is. The link is in my bio. But let's go ahead and get into talking about accounting. So, as always, if I'm looking down, I have the notes on my phone. So, let's just get into it. So, the core focus of accounting is going to be learning how to track, analyze, report, and ensure accuracy as it relates to financial information. And also, this is going to be important in guiding business decisions or your client's decisions on whatever that is. Now, some core topics in accounting is going to be financial and managerial accounting, tax law and preparation, auditing and internal controls, accounting information systems, and budgeting and forecasting. So, you really want to be able to be fluent in financial storytelling. So, taking these very big, complex data points and making it very digestible insights, whether it is to inform a business decision or whether that is to inform your client's financial health and creating that roadmap or strategy for them. Now, I do want to talk about some labor and statistics data. I think this is very important, especially as we are thinking about creating our own personal career pathway or what jobs are needed. So, according to the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, the median salary for an accountant is going to be $78,000 a year. Now, the projected growth in this industry and in this field is going to be about 4% from 2022 to 2032. So, accountants are needed. Now, there's going to be, give or take, about 67,000 job openings annually as it relates to accounting. Now, the top employers are going to be government agencies, big four firms, private corporations, and tech startups. Now, also, let's think about this from a global perspective. There are 3 million accounting roles going unfilled by 2030 due to AI and upscaling. And the top regions for growth is going to be Southeast Asia, Africa, Latin America, and the Middle East. Now let's switch our lens to talk about what are some career pathways as it relates to having a degree in accounting. So you can be a staff accountant, and this is where you're going to be doing financial reporting, journal entries, and the median or average salary is going to be about $60,000 in the US. You could be an auditor, whether this is going to be internal or external, and this is where you're really going to focus on risk analysis and compliance. You could be a tax consultant or advisor, and this is where you're going to navigate those really complex or intricate tax situations. That's also going to be aligned with corporate tax codes if you want to work on the big four side or the corporation side as it relates to accounting. And you can also consider becoming a forensic accountant. And so this is where you're going to track fraud. You're going to get the scammers. One thing, I can't stand a scammer. Side note, I cannot stand a scammer. So, you forensic accountants, we need you. And this is where you're going to track fraud and also work with law enforcement to get the scammers. And the average salary is going to be about $95,000. You can be a CPA, which stands for a certified public accountant. And this is where you're licensed to open access to high level finance strategies and roles. You can also, if you want to think about climbing the corporate ladder or starting in a startup capacity, you can be a CFO, which is the Chief Financial Officer. And the salaries are really going to fluctuate. So it could be anywhere from $150,000 to $300,000, $500,000. Now, switching our lens from career pathways to industries hiring accountants. This is going to be extremely important, especially when you are doing your own personal career mapping. So, of course, you could go in big finance, or you could go into the banking industry, which we are all familiar with, the JP Morgans, the Wells Fargos. Um, you could also go like the Deloitte route, Accenture. You can also consider working in tech, healthcare, government, nonprofits, and startups. If you want to consider the graduate school route, these are some graduate career, or not career pathways, but college pathways that you can consider. You can get a master's of accountancy. You could get your MBA and focus and have a concentration on accounting and finance. You could get your master's of science in taxation. You can go the legal route and get your JD and specialize in tax law, or you can get your PhD in accounting and sticking on the academic track. Now, here are some professional organizations that I really want you to consider or conduct some research. This is a huge part of the conversation of road mapping or career or academic mapping that gets really, really under and overlooked. And so you can explore the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants. You can also consider the National Association of State Boards of Accountancy. You should also research the Institute of Management Accountants. And also, you can consider the Association of Certified Fraud Examiners. For those of y'all that are determined to get the scammers, that is for you. Now, because we are in a new workforce era, we have to talk about your tech stack that you should consider. So, if you want to think about accounting from a visualization dashboard perspective, you're going to think about Tableau or Power BI to be able to take that very complex data and make it visual, whether this is in presentations with your clients so they can understand data storytelling from a visual perspective. If you want to think about different programming languages, you can think about Python or SQL. And also, if you want to think about AI and automation as it relates to accounting, you can think about MindBridge AI or Audit Board, and also Blackline. These are going to be widely used within the big four consulting agencies. So the Deloittes, the Accentures, all of them. But that is all I have for today in Majors Explained with Khadijah. Again, if you need any academic or career advising, my bookings are open, and I hope this helped. Tell me in the comments below what we should talk about next, because we're going to cover every single major that exists every single day.